Good evening and welcome to TV Tuần-san News of the Week. My name is Emma Doe. In what's making headlines this week, YouTube and Facebook remove content deemed toxic by the Vietnamese government. An outbreak of bird flu found in northern Vietnam. And Victoria Police are calling for public assistance in the ongoing investigation of a murdered Vietnamese man in Melbourne's west. In this week's top story, Vietnamese authorities, together with YouTube and Facebook, have reportedly removed 3,000 clips and over 600 accounts deemed inappropriate or slanderous towards Vietnamese individuals and organisations. According to state media, the development was announced in a meeting last week by Nguyễn Thanh Lâm, the director of the Agency of Broadcasting and Electronic Information. State media cited Mr. Nguyen as saying that Facebook, YouTube and Google make up for 60 to 70% of advertising revenue in Vietnam, while online newspapers and news websites share the small remainder. Back in March, Vietnam called on all companies operating in the country to pull its ads from YouTube and Facebook until the social media giants halted their publication of so-called toxic anti-government content. An outbreak of bird flu has been confirmed in Vietnam's northern province of Hà Nam. The H5N1 strain was detected in a backyard location containing close to 1,200 birds. The Vietnamese Farm Ministry reported the outbreak to the Paris-based World Organization for Animal Health, who confirmed on Wednesday that the virus had killed 300 birds. The rest of the flock has since been slaughtered, but it's not confirmed what type of birds were affected. The H5N1 virus can be passed to humans, but many flu strains only infect birds. Vietnam is one of a number of countries across Asia, Europe and Africa that has seen a rise in bird flu viruses in recent months. One of the 6 Vietnamese sailors taken hostage by the Islamist Abu Sayyaf group in February has been killed during a raid by Filipino troops over the weekend. A spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs confirmed that the body of John Viet Van was discovered among several corpses following a raid on the Abu Sayyaf group in the Filipino island province of Sulu. Van had been held for 5 months by the militants. It's not yet clear whether Van was killed by members of Abu Sayyaf or by the Filipino military during the chaos of the raid. Last week, 2 of the other Vietnamese sailors were found beheaded after the militant group's ransom demands were not met. According to the Filipino military, Abu Sayyaf is still holding 21 hostages in total, including 15 foreigners. In February this year, the group beheaded a 70-year-old German after its demands for over $500,000 was not paid. Vietnamese authorities are planning to hold talks with a Catholic monastery and church officials to resolve a land dispute that prompted a violent scuffle southeast of Hanoi last month. Reuters news agency reported that the Thừa Thiên Huế Provincial People's Committee said it would meet clerics of the Thiên An St. Benedict Monastery and church officials from Huế to try to resolve the dispute. On June 28, clergy at the monastery said dozens of what they believe to be plainclothes policemen took down a cross and a statue of Jesus on land claimed by the church. Land disputes are common in communist-ruled Vietnam, where conflicts over property between Catholics and regional authorities have caused shaky relations with the Vatican. Vietnam's cybersecurity has been ranked 101 out of 195 countries in the 2017 Global Security Index, compiled by the UN's Telecommunication Union. Meanwhile, the country's regional peers, Singapore, Malaysia and Thailand, are among the top 20 for cybersecurity. The score was based on a country's legal, technical and organisational institutions, its educational and research capabilities, and its cooperation in information sharing networks. More than half of Vietnam's population of nearly 92 million have access to the internet. Last August, Vietnam was the victim of cyber attacks on 2 of its 2 main airports. The Vietnamese government has vowed to fight against any form of cyber attacks on organisations or individuals. Floods triggered by heavy rains have killed at least 12 people and left 1 missing in northwestern Vietnam. According to the government agency on natural disaster prevention, the initial damage caused by the floods is estimated at 20.9 billion Vietnamese dong. The committee also said that 86 houses were damaged and 40 households were evacuated, while 489 hectares of rice fields were destroyed. Vietnam is hit by an average of 8 to 10 tropical storms between July and October every year, which often cause human losses and property damage. The Vietnamese Prime Minister Nguyen Xuan Phuc says Vietnam will lift restrictions on foreign investment in a bid to lure more businesses to the country. At the Netherlands Business Forum earlier this week, he told representatives from 450 companies that state-owned firms were set to launch share offerings. Vietnam has rapidly privatised since 2001, with the number of state-owned enterprises dropping down from 6,000 in 2001 to 700 at the end of last year. Foreign investors have their eyes on the state-owned dairy company Vinamilk and beer brewers Sabeco and Habeco. The Vietnamese government has already signalled that it plans to sell parts of these companies, which could bring in as much as $7 billion US. Vietnamese authorities have seized almost 3 tons of illegal ivory from South Africa, reportedly being transported from the country's south to Hanoi in the north. The state-owned Deutsche newspaper reported that the ivory was hidden in fruit cartons inside a truck. It was seized in Thanh Hoa province, about 130 kilometres to the south of Hanoi. The 36-year-old driver of the truck has been detained and local police are investigating the case. Although Vietnam outlawed the ivory trade in 1992, the country remains a top consumer for black market ivory products. Another foreign tourist has been attacked by Vietnamese locals in the tourist town of Sapa during a fit of road rage. Video uploaded to social media shows unidentified men getting out of a car and attacking a 64-year-old man from the Netherlands who was travelling with his Vietnamese wife by motorcycle. Various state media reports say that the Dutch man turned himself into police and admitted that he was to blame for the fight. The man told police he became angry after the car came too close to his bike. He then had an argument with the driver and the passengers of the car about their dangerous driving before the fist fight, which left him severely bruised, ensued. No charges have been pressed against his assailants. Just last month, a 27-year-old American man suffered the same fate in Hanoi. He banged on the door of a car to tell the driver that his foot had been run over, but the driver of the car then stepped out to beat the man up in traffic. Back to news in Australia. Police are still appealing for information on the death of a Vietnamese man in Deer Park. Last Friday, police set up an information caravan in Deer Park as part of the ongoing investigation into the death of 49-year-old The Phong Vuong. Vuong was found in his home in Erin Square on the 26th of June, nearly 11 days after police believe he was shot. Witnesses have reported hearing possible gunshots at the address, and Vuong was last seen on the evening of Thursday, June 15th. It's believed Vuong was running a sewing or textile business from his home and had been renting the house. Police are calling to speak with anyone who noticed unusual activity in the area, including any vehicles parked near the property or any suspicious activity noted around the area. Anyone with information can contact Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000 or submit a confidential crime report at crimestoppers.vic.com.au. That's all from Tuần-san News of the Week. For more stories, you can follow Tuần-san at tvtsonline.com.au and at Facebook at Tuần-san. I'm Emma Doe. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to your company at the same time next week.